I had some thoughts about why I heard a song just yesterday, I think it was, and they were singing about I am free now. And I thought about that and I says, what am I free of? And it came down to 2 points. It said that number one would be I'm free of my sin or of my actions, supposedly bad, I guess. And I wondered about that. How can I get free of all of my bad actions? Just taking it to the ultimate is if I murder somebody, how am I ever going to be free of that? And so the other thing is that if I'm free of them today, what about tomorrow? Because I know that since there is only one perfect one in the universe, it's pretty much a guarantee that tomorrow I'm going to do a bad action. So, and not tomorrow, the next day. But I know for me, every day I do something wrong. There's no question. So I don't get it how I can be free of some actions. And no matter who or what does it for me. Let's put it that way. And then the second question, if somebody else doesn't or something else doesn't do it, then how do I get free of them? Then the other point is that I am free of my bad nature. I was always taught that, and I was going, so that I was created or inherently have a bad nature. And I kind of question that too. It's like, you mean the creator of the universe is creating bad people? And if you have any kind of sense of a benevolent creation, which you can see all around you, that things are improving and growing and producing seed and doing all this stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of other examples where there is also dying and stuff like that. But if you look at nature and the world, the things are growing and dying and growing and dying. I don't know that is a bad thing. That doesn't say that there's a bad nature in that. Can we say that nature is bad? I think there's not a very good argument for that. Nature is basically both. If you want to, nature is growing and living and then dying and then growing again. Now I could say that, agree that there are bad people, but are they? I don't know. Like it says, God looks at the heart. There are a lot of people doing bad things. And you could argue that there's a psychopath that doesn't have a good nature, although we don't know what's in there. That's something that is unseen. But if you believe in a benevolent creation, then it would be hard to say that there is any creation of a bad thing or a bad person. I mean, it almost goes to, if you believe, you have to believe in a organized creation, let's put it that way. And that, to me, infers that it is good rather than it being bad. In our whole mindset that bad is chaos or leads to chaos, and good leads to more good and expanding and love and all, those kind of things. So I would think that most people believe in a benevolent universe and a benevolent creator. So it's really hard for me to understand how I was created, no matter through what. Through something called original sin, and something that happened thousands of years ago now affects every created being. That would be that's a spiritual concept that is very unproven, and you just have to accept that by faith. And I'm not sure, I look at it like I will accept things by faith, precepts and concepts, because I can't prove it, such as a benevolent universe. But I have to be logical in what that brings out. So those concepts I've always wondered about is, how come does something have to die? How come is there a sacrifice necessary? And you go like, so there is that somehow I have to transfer my bad actions, my sin, to something else, and then it has to die for me, and then that makes me clean again. And where is the logic? What sense does that make? And somebody said, well, that is what all other religions have a history of doing. And I go, so does that mean that is the way it should be, or is that just religion? Just take for example that Jesus, did he ever say that he was a sacrifice for mankind? Or did he give his life up voluntarily? But for what? To remove our sin? To make us good creatures again? In other words, we weren't good creatures before then. And you go, no, he did it for a reason, to show us the way, that he was the way and the truth and the life. And he gave his life up because on this earth they wouldn't believe him. And a lot of that stuff is like, I don't know for sure, because I've been indoctrinated that this is the way it is. And I still probably have some more thoughts on that, and I can probably give them, but mine are just questions about why is it that way? Why is there a sacrifice needed for sin? And how does that sacrifice cleanse my bad actions and my future bad actions? And am I good or am I not good? So, think about that, I guess.